for a minute, that one would say, actually, you know what? This is a good idea. For example, if you're going to deal with protectionist policies for your farmers, for your business people who might get into the place where they manufacture in country, what you want to do is that you want to increase taxes and levies on import, because what that does is that then you're able to reduce the inputs for the practitioners in country, right? So that you encourage the market to grow. Now, do you see the back end happening when you say, let's increase 5% on mitumba? On the other side, are we seeing local textile industry then actually getting the investment and growing, so that you say, ask, what is Kenya doing and why would it then be attractive to investors? Do you see what I'm saying? That must there be an answer on the other side? If you say 5% on mitumba, then okay, if it's going to be more expensive to import clothing that have been cheap for people to purchase, are we then going to see that in the textile industry it has become cheaper for people to manufacture and then also purchase clothing in Kenya? Must there be a give and take when we're looking at these numbers?
That's what I talked about, theory of change. Because it will make sense if Western Kenya, all of it, is now growing cotton.
Okay.
So why, and that's what I call hypothetical brightness. Where is cotton in Western Kenya, so that the 5% that we are levying on Mutuba may discourage import, so that farmers in Western Kenya are getting a boom because they have grown cotton, they have created journalists, so they have the cotton industries. You know, there is productivity. And now our textile industry is thriving. In absence of that, then there's no value.
Okay. And maybe just a rider, it's being termed as a presumed profit of 5%. And the CS says this was a proposal from industry players. From the financial world, presumed profit. How does maybe our viewer understand this presumed profit of 5%? And remember, the published finance bill by Parliament, that was published by Parliament, never had this. It's being reintroduced. It had been dropped. It's being reintroduced. And the CS says it was proposed by industry players.
Industry players does not necessarily mean Mutuba traders. It could mean those people in textile industry. So,
which is a disadvantage to Mutuba operators?
Yeah, maybe the textile industry. And also, our textile industry is hugely for export. EPZ and the world. So, I would like to understand which industry. For me, I would be happy if you're producing, because meaning we save a lot of money that we use, the forex exchange that we use to import. So we have our money here. Okay? So I would like to know which industry players are in that, and what is that they're doing so that the industry grows. And we get to know, so when the Mituba are levied 5%, how much does it go, what does it mean to the textile industry in the country? So the other question was, you had asked about the presumption of profit. So the assumption is that every time you go to business, there is a proportion of your profitability.
So the estimate.
The CS Treasury assumes that the minimum profit maybe from Mutumba is 5%. So is that what is proposing to take?
The profit that these guys are making anyway.
Meaning you are making more than 5%. So
it's not taking more than you're making.
No, they're saying the minimum you can make. That's an assumption. I don't know, grounded on what. So that is now what we are saying. Most likely is going to be passed over to the consumer. Already, if you look at the Kenyan consumer, the purchasing power is so constrained that that's why our economy is not growing. And I was looking through the finance bill 2026-2027 to see what are those incentives are there, so that we can tinker the growth of our economy. And remember, probably this will be the last finance bill and budget for entirely KK government, because the next budget will be 2027, 2028.
Yes.
Meaning the government will only have 2 months
to implement.
If it's good to change, if it's good to continue, then it will have it for the next. So this entirely we'll be looking at what they have in mind as we go to 2027. And very interesting. And there's also another myth that the bill did not increase taxes. All financial acts are in what we call perpetuity model. That the Financial Act 2023 is in force. So we still continue to pay taxes as per last year, 2025.
Okay.
So there's nothing new about Finance Bill 2026. And that's what I'm saying, there was no value to do it. The minister would have just done amendments for 2025 financial bill.